There we go. Okay. Cactus Sam. I need to hit the drop target real quick. I have 1 second left. Oh, did you see that? I'm Mike Dimas, and this is Pinball Shenanigans. Hey, what's going on, Shenaniganders? Welcome back. Shout out to Mark's Basement Arcade. I'm wearing your merch, brother. The Valuker. Alright, I was gone away for the weekend. Shawnee Boy, the fellow Shenanigander, and I went to Maple Pinball to play in a pinball tournament on Friday. We stayed overnight, and then we played the 200% Whopper Point tournament on Saturday. I think it is Maple's first one that they held. So, gone away for the weekend. We were there. The Friday tournament started about 7 p.m. No, 7:30. 31 players, good turnout. And Sean and I both made it to the final four. And by that time, it was about 2 a.m. in the morning. So I had choice of games. So at 2 a.m. in the morning, I decided I'm going to pick the most brutal possible games in the lineup. And I had to pick one solid state, one EM, and one modern DMD. So I picked Aladdin's Castle, Dolly Parton for the solid state, and 007 for the modern, because it was playing brutal, and just because I thought it would be fun to finish on that note. Anyway, after Aladdin's Castle, the four of us in the final four, Sean, myself, Mike Savage, and Chris Moxley, decided to go to sleep, go home, and play the other two games on the Saturday. So we finally got to play them around 5 p.m. around the dinner break or so. I won Aladdin's Castle, getting me 4 points. So all I needed to do was win Dolly, and then I could have locked up the Friday event by winning another 4 points, which fortunately I did. So I took down the Friday tournament, and then the Saturday tournament was a good turnout. There was like 38 players, I believe. Barely made the finals. Top 16 made it to finals. Sean and I both did. There was all kinds of fellow Shenaniganders there. Great turnout, great event. It was Shane's birthday. Shout out, happy birthday, you old Bart. And hope you enjoyed the book I gave you. Read it, look at the photos, and enjoy it. I'm sure you will. Anyway, top 16 made it to finals. I just snuck in there. So did Sean. So we ended up playing each other in the first round of the playoffs, and we tied. So we had to have a mano heads-up tiebreak on Supersonic, and he ended up getting me there. So he moved on and ultimately finished fourth. So Shawnee Boy got fourth, and I got first, and I don't know, 16 or 14 or something like that. So anyway, while I was there, Maple Pinball was giving away a bunch of crap just to clear out some space, so I thought I'd show you what I brought home with me. One moment. Oh, by the way, this is actually an episode of Bounty Hunter, believe it or not. That will happen. Trust me. Okay, so fellow Shenanigander Curtis, he brought a 2-4 and some merch from a brewing company. I forget where exactly. Called, oh, can you see? Clifford Brewing Company. Check it out. Pinball Wizard beer, one of which I partook. It is a 5.7 strong beer. I needed a little boost because I was sucking at one point, and needed to change up something. Pinball Wizard helped me make it to the playoffs on the Saturday. And then, look at this. Cool little sticker. And a little poster too, so thank you, Curtis, for that and bringing all that. And then got me some new crazy glue today. Always got to keep a good stock of that. The gel and then the regular stuff. Okay, this is what else I got for free. Thank you, Maple Pinball. It's like a System 11 power supply. Looks like maybe it's been worked on. It was only in the pile because it wasn't working, but look at this. That area is usually burnt to a crisp, and it is in good shape. So if it doesn't work, I feel like it's a good candidate to get working. Looks like, you know, a lot of stuff has been reflowed. Anyway, so I got that, and let's just put the bag right here. Also, what is this? Another, looks like System 9 or 11 power supply. A little bit different version, but hey, for free, I'll take it, I'll gamble. I'm sure it is a good candidate for repair. But is that the same board as this? Let's see. No, you know, it almost, I'm starting to wonder if this is actually a Williams board. Anyway, moving on. Let's show you what else they got. Oh, you know what? I actually brought my Xenon soundboard over to Maple and tested this out in their Xenon just to be sure whether this soundboard was my issue or not. So it didn't screw up over there. So now I know my Xenon, probably for sure, which is a bit of an oxymoron, it is not the board that is at fault. So now I can start chasing my tail on the other things. I know it's not the speaker. I don't know. Anyway, bag full of these like 906 or 89 style flashers used. It's good to have those. And then I got some cool wall hangers. 8-ball, Bally 8-ball. We got Bad Cats. More Bad Cats. Another cool Bad Cat. Oh, on a side note, Hank is missing in action. He left our house Friday night. I was gone, obviously, to Maple. But he left the house Friday night, and we haven't seen him since, so we're a little bit concerned. Where the heck is Hank? His parents are on vacation. They got a house sitter right now, and he hasn't been home. He hasn't been here. Hank, where the F are you? He's got like 5 families that he hangs out at, so hopefully he's just at one of the other families. Anyway, Hank is MIA. This is like Alvin G. Gottlieb soccer theme game. What is that? Do anyone know what that one is? Anyway, this one was Rolling Stones. I don't really have a lot of wall space left, but I gotta find space. Mars God of War pop bumper cap. I have a Mars God of War, and both clips are intact. It's scratched up, but that was a good candidate to grab. And then this cool plastic. It's a little bit broken here, but another Bad Cats. Uh-oh. And then this. Can you guess what this is from? I am guessing. I think I know what it is. I don't know for sure, but I'm not going to say what my guess is. I'll let you guess. Or someone can just tell me they know. And then I can find out if my guess is right or not. All right, what else is in here? Find it interesting. I was going to say that the skin tone of her shirt is the same as... The tone of her skin is the same tone as her shirt. But I forgot. The art is on the backside, so that shirt will actually light up red. Anyway, cool wall hanger. 8-ball. And then Shawnee, these are for Sean. He grabbed these, and I forgot, and I took them home with me. So you can make some cool necklaces or earrings out of these, or whatever you like. So that is my stash. Oh, I'm not done yet. I have to show you. I got my boards back for Bounty Hunter, so we can segue over to Bounty Hunter. One moment. Alright, so my boards are back from Tommy Pinball, Brent Butler, and let's take a look and see how they look and what he did. I asked him to kindly add ground wires for when I do the ground mods to save me a step, And thank you, Tommy / Brent, for doing that for me. So that's pretty sweet. Okay, so let's start with the CPU. Let's go like this. All right, according to the list, replaced Z5 Prom number 1 with a D2764A 694/1, whatever that means. Added ground wire. Oh, that looks a little clearer. Added an adapter board and the battery. Okay, so I believe Brent had these made, maybe designed it a little bit too, or used an existing design, I'm not sure. But this PCB here is brand new, and that's pretty friggin' awesome, because that is a big failure point. There's the lithium battery upgrade, and then Z5, I wonder where that is. Okay, I looked for like 10 seconds. I see Z3, Z4. Wait, no. You see it? Z4, Z1. Anyway, it's probably one of those little chips. So anyway, it's a good looking board, and I'm sure it's gonna be a beauty, and hopefully it doesn't reset on me. But that could be a connector issue that I'm having. Anyway, Brent said all my boards have matching serial numbers, which is kind of rare, you know. 7719 all throughout. All right, let's check out the next board. All right, so here's our System 80 driver board. It's a good looking board as well. All these boards were looking good, really. And I will do these ground mods once I get around to it. But what did Brent do to the driver board? Replaced Q58. That's it. So I'm surprised there was even anything at all wrong with it, but one of the transistors was obviously in need of replacement. Can you spot it? I mean, it should be one of these guys, right? Or is it one of the small guys? It doesn't jump out at me in terms of, like, you know, a part that looks just a little bit different than the other parts. It's in there somewhere, but anyway, that board is good. And here we have our power supply. So you replace the headers. I know this because I asked him to, and the potentiometer, and added the ground wire. I think that's it. Power supply, replace connectors J1, J2, R3 trimmer, and ground wire. Yep, there we go. So I am going to repin both female connectors for this power supply, and maybe that will help with the reset issue I was having. Voila, power supply is good. All right, soundboard. I told Brent that the soundboard was apparently behaving as it should, but I believe he did some bulletproofing to it. Anyways, soundboard. Look at that. Replace C7, C9, C8, C7, C9, and C8. Okay. And that's it. Ground wire. So this is probably C7, 9, and 8, these three guys. Don't think that looks replaced, so that is my guess. So there we go, soundboard. All right, that is my box full of boards. Thank you, Brent, again. Please don't retire. It's too late. He's retiring end of March, so I will be on the hunt. I've got a lead or two for a new board guy. I don't want to have to ship to the States and back, because that's like $100 in shipping just alone to ship there and back, and maybe more. So if I got to do what I got to do, but if I can stay within Canada, that would be great. got the one lead, and then John's Jukes out in BC. He's another option. So that's John Robertson. He knows his crap, definitely. So that is a good option. All right, I'm going to clean up my mess here and then go install some boards. I just found this in the box. This is the connector for the reset board, and I must have had that still installed on the CPU, and Brent says do not install, so there you go. I'm not going to install that. Okay, well, I thought it would be prudent to kind of explain briefly what it is that I'm actually doing here. So for the System 80 series games on Gottlieb, it is highly recommended to do ground improvements / ground mods, and I'm not going to explain it any better than PinWiki will, so I'm just going to read this so you know from PinWiki what it is that we're doing exactly and why. So when Gottlieb, a System 80 board set, was designed, for whatever reason the designers did not physically attach each board to a common ground plane via a conductive back panel, standoffs, and screws as Bally and Williams did. So like all the boards in the Bally and Williams games are connected to that metal panel in the back box, so they all have a common ground plane, a ground existence. So Gottlieb doesn't have a metal panel in their back box, so they just I'll say it here. Gottlieb relied on connectors and wires between each board to create a common ground. A poor connection due to dirty, damaged, fatigued connector pins will sever the ground between system components, resulting in all sorts of odd behavior. So from each board there would be a wire from this board to this board, and then this board to this board, you know, for example, from the CPU to the driver, through connectors. That's how they grounded everything, not through a metal back box panel. So what I am doing is actually I just had to install the little whatchamacallums here for each of the wires. These were not installed, I just installed them. What I did was Dremel them nice and shiny, soldered them and crimped them and tugged on them, and they are solid. So I did one for each. So what we're going to do is have all these boards go to the power supply, which is kind of not exactly common because this is a different piece of metal than this, but it is connected via the heatsink. But then the heatsink is coated in this material, so it's kind of technically two different ground points. But, you know, in theory, if I connected this leg to this leg, long story short, all wires, one wire from each board will go to this, and then this will go to ultimately the ground plane in the transformer panel. Did that clear things up or just make them way more confusing? Because I don't feel like I explained that very well. Anyway, that is what it is that I am doing. So, time to install the boards. Okay, just to be safe, I was going to remove one screw of this bracket here and then Dremel off this black coating, because it does come off. And I approve it. And just to make sure that I am getting connection from one side to the other. But as it turns out, let's see if I can do this here. One-handed. Okay, you go on there, like so. And then listen for the beep. So even though this has got a coating on it, left and right sides are connected, so I don't need to worry about that. But almost got all the boards installed. This is the last one, and then I'll show you the results. Alright, ground mods are complete. So I will show you what exactly it is that I did. First issue I had was that this power supply was missing two of the screws. and you need the screws in order to secure the ground wires. And I determined that this T-nut on the other side was stripped because no screw would go in there. So I tried to pop it out, and away came half of the MDF wood, which created quite a mess on my playfield, which I've vacuumed up partially. So this I had to replace with a new T-nut, and I decided not to screw anything into that because I don't know how solid that T-nut is in there. So CPU is tied to here, power supply is tied to here, the soundboard is tied to here, and the driver board is tied to there. Then to tie everything together, I cut like a 3-foot piece of black wire and put terminals on each end, screwed one to there, and then it comes down like so, and then ends up here. And then these wires end up going to the transformer panel. This goes to here, and then this is the latch on the back. All right, and then you can see the ground wire jumps over to the other side right here, and then it travels down, and I took my multimeter to this end and then touched one lead to this end when this was disconnected, and one lead to the transformer panel, and we had continuity. So I know right here, I know that everything should be securely grounded now. Next thing I'm going to do is repin these connectors because they're crappy. And one of these, yeah, remember that? That guy there is a little bit crispy. So I'm going to repin these two guys. Then I'm going to plug it in. Then I'm going to turn it on and see what happens. There's another ground mod I have to do where you add 2 more wires to this connection, to this connector there. But you need special terminals for that. They're called bifurcated terminals, and they just don't manufacture them anymore. So I don't know if I have any of those left. So we'll have to see on that. But there are also ground modifications you can do to the transformer panel, but I don't think this model I have to, so I'll check that out later. But ground mods are pretty much done. I think it's time for a supper break. I'll be back. All right, dinner is done. I had some lasagna and just came down to start repinning those connectors. I thought I'd show you the before and after. Look how nice and shiny that one on the right is. Oh, with my flash on, they all kind of look shiny, don't they? But let's see if I turn my flash off. Maybe that will show better. Not really. Anyway, I'll do all those. Let's turn the flash back on. All these. And then it is time to power it on for the first time with the new ground plug. New plug with the ground pin. So hopefully I wired that up properly, or else the old fuse panel may blow. But I think we're good there, so getting close. All right, all new shiny pins have been installed. All right, so that's some good bulletproofing right there. This is, I believe, the input where the power goes in. Let's put this connector on the right way, like so. Okay. Voila. Get on there. Okay. It's kind of tight fit. Now, got the new plug in, so let's turn on the machine and see what happens. Shouldn't be a whole lot. What I want to do is measure the voltage of the power supply. I believe all these pins on the top are all the same. They're all 5 volts. They're supposed to be. So let's see what we have. 5.1. All right, let me check the other ones just to see for sure. Yep, 5.1. They're all the same. Okay, that's what I thought. All right, so that's good news. So I'm gonna power this off and plug this in, and I'll be right back. All right, we are connected. You and I, we're connected together, just like all the ground mods. We're just one big happy shenanigandous family here. Let's just hope that we can retain our happiness when I power this bad boy on and things all work perfectly. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Okay. Top guns, top guns, top guns. Okay. Everything looks pretty good. All right, well, that is a great start. Do I even have a ball in here? I do. We can hit the start button, see if we got our tunes. You ready? Yeah. We gotta go listen to these tunes again. I was just kind of looking at the transformer panel grounds, because there's various different versions that Gottlieb did. Some are more reliable than others, and I think this is the style that I don't have to concern myself about. I have a phone call. I will be right back. Okay, sorry about that. Now that I know that everything appears to be working, I will, off camera, go through and just kind of double check the solenoids and switches, and just maybe play a couple test games and see if there's any odd behaviors. And the test games we played before were with the Swimmer CPU. And yeah, so I'll just putter around, do a little bit of play testing and checking and report any findings. I believe it was Vax Stories said, hey man, with this white lane guide, why can't you just use a single lane over there? It's like, well, because the ball does come onto both sides, but now that you mention it, I can use a single lane on this side. So I can take this guy, put it here, and take this guy and put it here, and we don't have to live with a white lane guide after all. So thanks, Vax Stories, for that suggestion. I am gonna do that as well. All right, I thought before I went any further, actually, I feel like it's time to bust out the backglass, so I just gave it a bit of a wipe down. But as you can see, it is in pretty great condition. Gottlieb added this little blue film for effect. Pretty cool. I think my tag team might have the same. Very minimal scratches. Big one there, but that is the majority of it. This top trim is super loose, and I'm not sure the best way to adhere that, so for now I'm just going to leave it off. And then let me flip this over and I'll show you the front. Okay, there it is. Very vibrant colors. It's a good looking backglass. I like the art. Don't mind my empties in the background there. Yeah, so there's a bunch of dudes hanging out, smoking cigarettes, and got the damsel there. And they're all plotting to get this $50,000 award by capturing Cactus Sam. Wonder if he's based off, if any of these characters are, you know, modeled after any designers, or that's, you know, that happens often, but these ones don't look so much. Anyway, this is a Gottlieb pinball game from 1995, 85, sorry. Yeah, okay, well, I'm gonna pop this in, probably pop in a brand new piece of playfield glass, and maybe we'll do our first play test with the new boards and ground mods together. All right, there she be. Looking pretty sweet, actually. So much better with the back glass in. Let's turn it on and then get all the light. And then, ooh, yeah, look at that. That's pretty sweet. Did I show you the lane guides? I forgot if I showed you the lane guides. I don't think I did. There we go. You like that much better? I thought so. And look, these 4 lights are working, except actually this one is not. Why are you not working? So my suspicions were right. These 4 guys are controlled lamps. That guy, for whatever reason, is being a little finicky. So I'll write that on my list. But I just threw in the pop bumper caps for now. Still plan on dealing with them, rebuilding them, the skirt, removing these Mylar skirt thingies. There's probably a decal, I'm guessing, of Cactus Sam's face that goes there. I'll have to look up and see if that's available. Maybe get me some custom apron cards. But we're getting close to the finish line. It's just fingers crossed that the game doesn't reset. Let's just expect and say it's probably going to reset or crash, because if it doesn't, then I'll be pleasantly surprised. But right now, I am expecting it. So let me bust out the rig and we'll do a playtest game. Alright, that looks pretty good. It's horizontal angle, which I kind of have to do because I don't know how to stitch horizontal and vertical videos together on my software that I use, which is the bare bones editing software. Anyway, let's see what happens here. Okay, so why is 6 and 2 lit in the chamber and number 2 on Hunter and number 5 up there? Obviously, there are rules and I don't know them, so hopefully that's not some sort of issue like locked on lamps. Oh, stuff's happening. Whoa. Okay, lamps do not appear to be locked on. That's good. I did not attempt to level this thing yet. Let's try and get this. If you hit the left orbit, it does like the cool, like almost figure 8 shot around there. See if we can make that happen. See if we can keep the ball alive. That's another thing we want to happen. There we go. That's a cool, fun shot. Could use a little more oomph like that. Thank you. So, we want to spell Hunter. Basically hit all the 6 targets. There's Hun. And then I think that's when Cactus Sam comes out. Oh, you can't change those lanes up top. You can on tag team. So I'm guessing that means this was a little bit before tag team. Oh, that's fun. I like that shot. Upper flipper loop to loop. So, uh-oh, that's trouble. Okay. There we go. Okay. Cactus Sam, I need to hit the drop target real quick. I have 1 second left. Oh, did you see that? Oh, I didn't get my reward. That was friggin' close. Okay, so now how do I bring Sammy back out to play? Oh, extra ball. So, looks like you roll over ABC lanes up top. And then that lights one of the lanes, or the middle lane, for your extra ball, which I collected, which is pretty similar to the tag team, no, Ice Fever rules. Get your ABC, and then that lights one of your lanes up top, except it's random on Ice Fever. Okay, so that saucer is flashing, so I think we need to, and it says light special when flashing, And load all bullets when lit. Oh, we gotta load up some bullets. Hey, it looks like you got stuck on the mylar there or something. So let's try and feed that shot right there. Oh, okay, it wants us to hit the loop-to-loop, I think. It's flashing up there. That's a neat little feature. Little loop-to-loop lights. Okay, let's go with the orbit shot. Boom. I think I just got a special, maybe? No? Special is lit up there. Maybe I didn't, you probably got, there's 2 switches up there. Maybe you gotta hit both switches, like, in quick succession, and I hit mine too slowly? I don't know. Why didn't I get my special? Oh, now I gotta start all over again. Okay. I need this one here. How do I get that? And looks like you can get A, and C in the in lanes, and A, B, C at the top. So B is in the top middle lane is the only way to get that. Okay, so it looks like we gotta start back up. Oh wait, there's Cactus Sam. Let's get him this time. Oh. So, I've got about 400,000 and 450,000 points. Oh. Cactus Sam is worth 50,000 points. Oh, I got my initials on the board. Alright, so let's enter that in. When you're playing in a tournament or yeah, some competition, it forces you to, if you get your name on the board on these Gottlieb systems, you have to go like use this left and right buttons to scroll through the alphabet, and you actually have to hit the start button to enter your initial. And you typically don't want to hit the start button in a competition because, you know, that starts the game up. So it's kind of terrifying anytime that happens, but that's the way that is designed. Eventually, Gottlieb realized that, hey, we don't need extra buttons here. We can just use the flipper buttons. But anyway, okay, that first game was a success, except why did I not get my special? Here, let me take you off the tripod. I'll show you. So I had the special lit. I hit my loop-to-loop, the 2 switches, but it didn't appear to give me a special. I didn't hear a knock. I didn't see any, and it stayed on. So you would think if I collected it, it would have went off. So I'll have to look at that light bulb, and just kind of play the crap out of it and see if there's any other gremlins that pop out. But that is a pretty successful run tonight. I may still putter a little bit more. In case I don't, then thanks for watching. Good progress. We'll see you on the next one. Okay, it appears as though my work is not done yet for tonight. So, bonus footage. Okay, this is the bulb that's not working. I was checking a few different things, and watch what happens when I touch that. See that? So this ground wire is just not making good contact with the socket. So that's an easy fix. I will do that. Much better.